So I have an update to the story. Last one I was saying that I had to go get a new phone from Apple. So I tried to do their online support basically through their phone without having to go to the store. And she was saying that she had to talk to the engineering team and I can't talk to them directly. So it was like taking forever. So I was like, I need to get this handled. It's been like too long that this phone doesn't work. So I called the store, then it like routed to like some remote person. I called the local store and it routed to some random person. And then she called the store and after like an hour, she's like, "Oh, they have a new phone ready for you to go. You can go and pick it up." Cuz they were going to first try to make me ship it off to Apple. And I was like, "I don't feel like doing that again. This is already a replacement phone." So they're like, okay, we have one waiting. So I get to the store and I get, like, the guy gives it to me and he's like, all right, you're good to go. I was like, well, I want to make sure it works before I leave. So wouldn't you know, it didn't work. It still wouldn't work and they didn't know why, right? So this is the second replacement phone, right? And then he's like huddling up with all the other Apple people. And like I said in the last one, my phone was unlocked, but I guess he was trying to sell me on. There's like a different tier. There's like almost like Cricket had like a secret lock, not really on the phone, but on my account. Where since it was like a replacement phone, it was when they put in my information that like carried over the lock was basically what he was saying. But they weren't like 100% sure. It was like they've never encountered something like this before, right? So I was like, what the? And he's like, basically, it's kind of went back to the original person at Apple when I went to the store. It said, like, oh, we could give you 100 phones and it won't work. When I called Apple, they gave me a different story, but she basically gave me the right information. It sounded like it didn't sound right at the time, but I guess she was right. Um, I had I mean, who knows? But I was like, well, what if I bought a brand new phone? What would happen then? And they're like, oh, it should definitely work then. So I bought a brand new phone, right? And I kept the replacement phone. So I bought a brand new phone. There's like a special SIM card for like the XS, and I get that, right? And I get home, because it was late, and they're like, "Oh, you need your PIN to activate it." I was like, "Oh, and I have my PIN." They're like, "Okay," and they gave me the SIM card. I was like, "Fine, I can call him when I get home." So I called him, and the guy was like, "This isn't a valid SIM card number." Well, there's like a queue, I guess, or something different in the SIM card for the XS, maybe the X2, but I guess it was he didn't know that because it was, I think, a valid SIM card, but it wasn't working on their website. And then when I called in, he said it wasn't valid. I'm like, I just got it at the Apple store, right? So I went to Sprint with the new phone now after the second replacement phone didn't work, right? And it still wouldn't work in the store. So I went to another Sprint that night. Just I was like, let me try one more time, whatever. Um, and they couldn't get it to work. But then the girl goes, wait, these need a special SIM card. I don't have them here, but let me call the other store. So she calls the other store, and they're like, "Oh, we got it." I get to the other store. He puts it in, right? The one guy was like, "I need to go to the bathroom," so he leaves, and then the other guy was like training, right? And he it still wouldn't work. Usually, when you pop it in, you restart the phone, whatever, it works, right? So like 5-10 minutes, he's in the bathroom. He put it in, came out, right? So 5-10 minutes it went by, still wasn't working. And then the guy was about to put in a new SIM card to try, and like he got mad at him. He was like, "Oh no, it takes time." And I'm thinking like, "Nah, buddy, it ain't gonna work. You think like time's gonna fix it?" So of course, after like another 10 minutes went by, it was already past the closing time. It still wasn't working. And I was like, oh my god. So the brand new phone didn't work. So I had to go back to Apple and they did the exchange. And the guy was like really nice. He was like, "I'm gonna make sure this works before you leave." Um, so we called Sprint, and then Sprint's like, "I gotta send you a text message and to verify, you're the owner." I was like, "Well, the phone isn't working, so you can't send a text message." And they almost weren't gonna send it, weren't gonna activate the phone unless they could send that text message. And I was like, you know what? There's a T-Mobile, there's a Verizon in here. I'll cancel this account right now and go over, right? And then I'd end up disconnecting because she got on her manager on the phone, and he said like the same thing. So I ended up disconnecting, right? And then I called back, and then they noted the account that I was about to cancel because the lady activated it without sending me a text message. So it turned out the brand new phone, after all that, the brand new phone apparently was busted. And I mean, Apple, like, I'm a pretty loyal Apple person. Simply, I see a lot of Apple hate online. And it's like, I don't understand it because to me, I've had 4 PCs in like 4 years. They all broke. I've had Androids. They all turned to crap like a year. You can customize them more, but in like a year, the phone barely works. I've had my MacBook for 5 years. Yeah, like so. Don't tell me that, oh, you just love Apple because of the logo. Like, no, I like Apple because I still have my iPod from like 8th grade. Like, it still works. Like, I don't mind paying a little bit more for the price. I pay a little bit more. I mean, for the quality, I'm willing to pay a little bit more for that quality. Like, but lately, Apple has been raising these prices, and the quality just, I don't know, maybe because Steve Jobs isn't running it anymore, but the quality just doesn't seem like it's there, and they're raising the prices. I mean, maybe they'll lose me. Maybe Android and I mean, I don't know if I'll trust PC. Maybe I'd give, but I mean, I'm kind of part of their ecosystem. But I mean, I think the the issue with the phone being locked was on Cricket. It looks like I don't think those phones were because of Apple, but to give me a brand new phone and then it won't activate, right? So I finally got the new phone to activate in the store. So the first new phone was busted, right? So they gave me a new. Luckily, it was still in the return time, which I mean it was only like a day, but still, they still replaced it, and I didn't have to deal with the whole replacement phone. I mean, I got a brand new phone out of the box. The replacement phone, they just bring it out, and it's basically like a used phone, refurbished. But so a couple weeks later, right? Wouldn't you know? I always use fast charging. A couple weeks later, I realized when I went to try to do Apple CarPlay in my car that the USB, like what do they call it, Lightning port, doesn't work. The good thing is I think I want to get the XS Max. So I kind of wanted to replace it anyways because I've just felt like it's been too small lately. I'm like, oh, the screen is too small. But I got to replace it anyways. But like I said, like I feel like Apple's slipping lately. They're getting crazy with these prices, and it's similar to like Verizon. Back in the day, Verizon was the best. But I mean, maybe Apple, the products. I don't know. I mean, a new MacBook. I've had this MacBook for like 5 years. I've upgraded it, but it still works fine. I don't know. Maybe their new MacBooks won't last that long. Maybe these new iPhone X's and XS's or whatever, like maybe they won't last like they used to, but yet they're charging like a lot more. Um, so I gotta go and replace. I'm gonna get the XS Max and activate it. It's dual SIM with these XS and XX Max. I'm not sure about the XR maybe, but you can apparently like have two. Like I could do Sprint and I could do T-Mobile. I can have two numbers at the same time. I can apparently switch to like any carrier at this point. But with Sprint, I mean the service. Some people commented in the last video about Sprint that sucks. I mean they're I feel like you have to kind of be on the East Coast for Sprint according to their coverage map. Like if you're on the West Coast, I wouldn't try them. But I mean, I've had good service so far. I get service at my job, and that was like the number one thing. But I've had pretty good service. I mean, it's not great. Like it's not like lightning fast. It's slow loading pages at times. But I mean, it's still doable. I haven't had where I don't really get any service. I haven't encountered that. So overall, it's good. And then the bill, it apparently will be about 30 some dollars a month. I mean, it was 60 some the first month, but they had like the activation fee. So I mean, if it's around 30 some dollars a month, unlimited data, talk and text, like I'm happy. So we'll see. And I mean, it wasn't a contract, so that should continue. But so this whole situation, though, like Apple, they should know about these things better than they did, right? So Apple, you're at fault. But also Cricket, like I said, apparently they can put like some secret like lock where there's like your phone can say unlock, but they really have a lock on your policy. Maybe that's like their legal way out of it. They don't lock the phone, but they can lock like your policy. So technically yours. So I don't know, but and it's tough. It was like tough to find because even I tried for like $1 on eBay. You can give some. He unlocks the phone. So I was like, whatever, it's $1. Let me just try that. And they said it's unlocked, and he was like really popular, but they said it was unlocked. So you may literally check the phone, and it says unlocked, but you can't actually switch. But like I said, dealing with all these people, it seems like I'm literally the only person that's encountered this because they were from the Apple Store to Cricket. It's like they were all like clueless to what happened. But saga continues. It's a never ending. I'm sure this new phone will have problems because this is never ending at this point. But said in the last. Let me know if you had something similar, but I doubt it. But anyways, thanks for watching.